Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Modern Warfare 3 In Depth. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Specialist Strike Package. I'm going to talk about it from a factual standpoint, tell you some things you probably didn't know about it, then we're going to dispel a few myths about the Specialist Strike Package, then I'm going to move on to tips, tricks, strategy, how you should use the Specialist Package. Then, toward the end of the video, I'm going to drop a MOAB, then J-Hub's going to drop a MOAB, and we're going to bro-fist each other and call it a broab. Get ready for some fast-paced gameplay, because here we go. The first thing you need to know about the Specialist Strike Package is that every 2 points you get, that's 2 kills, 2 flag captures, 2 whatevers, you get a new perk. They don't stack like the support package, so every time you die you go back to 0, but 2 kills is a new perk. When you get all the way up to 8 points, or 8 kills, or flags, or captures, or whatever you want to call them, you get all perks and most proficiencies. This is something you could only dream about in other Call of Duties. This is something you'd sit there in class or at work and be like, man, what a godlike monster I could be if I could have my favorite weapon with multiple attachments and all the perks and then just stack all the proficiencies on there and all these nice things. Well, you can actually do that in Modern Warfare 3 if you have the skills to get up to 8 kills. One of the cool things about this is that if you make it up to that 8-point specialist streak, you get all of the perks even if you don't have them unlocked yet. I'm not talking about using your tokens to put them in the slots in the specialist menu, and I'm not talking about your 2, 4, and 6-point rewards there, but when you get all the way up to 8 and it gives you all perks, it really gives you all perks. Even if you're a level 5 or 6 and you just got specialist and you go all the way up to a specialist streak, you get all of the perks. One caveat to that is that you do not get pro perks until you have them unlocked. Even on Specialist bonus, if you don't have the pro version of these perks unlocked, you don't get them. So you have to unlock the pro perks to be able to use pro perks in your Specialist package. All the way up at your 8-point specialist streak, you also get most proficiencies. And please take note that I say most proficiencies. You do not get all proficiencies. That's a rumor or a myth or whatever you want to call it. It's not true. There are 10 proficiencies in this game. You get 7 of them. The 7 proficiencies you get are kick. Your weapon is just more accurate when you shoot it. It's probably about 20-30% more accurate passive effect. You get range, so you get a 25% boost in range. That's not accuracy over range, but that's actual damage over range. It changes your damage profile. You get focus, so that your screen doesn't bounce around when people are shooting you. You get melee so that you can stab faster, and that word is pronounced melee. It's not melee. It makes me want to stab people when they say melee. It's melee. You get stability, so your iron sights and your actual sight sights, your red dots and what, they don't wobble at all. They're perfectly still. You get impact, which is just kind of like, what was that perk? Well, you just shoot through walls. You penetrate through walls easier, and you get speed, so you run 10% faster. You'll get these proficiencies even if your weapon doesn't normally have them. That means that if you're running a shotgun, you can get stability. I don't know what use it'll be. If you're running an assault rifle, you can get melee. If you're running a light machine gun, you can actually get range built into it. Not that that'll help anything. So it doesn't really matter what weapon class you have. You get this same proficiency set every single time. And it's kind of a way to game the system. You get proficiencies that weapons aren't really supposed to have, so it can be incredibly powerful. However, there are several proficiencies that you do not get. You do not get attachments, because that's something you have to start out with. It's not going to like pop up in the middle of the game, hey, would you like to add a silencer? You also don't get damage. That one is special to shotguns, and you don't get that with a specialist bonus. However, if you have a shotgun and you have damage on the shotgun and you do get the specialist bonus, then you'll get damage in conjunction with everything else. And you also don't get breath. You don't get to hold your breath when you get your specialist bonus. But if you start with it on assault rifles, then you'll get that along with everything else. One of the other questions that I get asked quite frequently is, do the specialist proficiencies apply to any weapon that I pick up? And the answer is yes, these do apply to any weapon that you pick up. Normally, if you're running any other strike package and you pick up a weapon, you don't get any of the proficiencies on the weapon. So if you're not running specialist and you pick up a gun, you get none of the proficiencies on the weapon. And if you're not on your specialist bonus, you don't get any of the proficiencies. You get it like a very raw, blank kind of weapon. However, when you're on your specialist streak, any weapon that you pick up, the specialist proficiencies all get applied to it right away. Another thing that happens very often is I get messages in my inbox with people asking me, do the specialist proficiencies apply to secondary weapons? And the answer to that question is yes, the specialist proficiencies do apply to secondary weapons. I ran a special open lobby today through Twitter to test this out, got some subscribers in there, and we made sure that yes, these specialist proficiencies do apply to secondary weapons. Because secondary weapons have very high recoil in general and lower range and things like this, you don't notice it as much, but you still get the same kick, range, focus, melee, stability, impact, speed, all that sort of nice stuff on your secondary weapons. So yes, specialist proficiencies apply to secondary weapons and secondary weapons that you pick up off the ground. Well, it was fun to sit around and talk about facts and do a little myth busting. Let's transition away from that and talk about specialist strategy. Specialist players should, if they're playing on a team, have a very simple goal, and that goal is to get a MOAB. Specialist players go for MOABs. That's just kind of what they should be doing. That's kind of what this is set up to do. To get a MOAB in Modern Warfare 3, you have to get 25 kill streakless kills. That's 25 gun kills, 25 knives, 25 grenades. None of the packages that you pick up off the ground or any of your kill streaks will count toward this. So the specialist package is the ideal MOAB getting package because it makes you kind of a beast or a monster, and you get your gun kills much easier. You're more difficult to kill, especially if you're like me and you're using teamwork and you have ballistic vests on top of all these somewhat unfair perks that I'm running around with. And that's what you should be doing, but you should be doing this in a team-oriented fashion. Your teammates should know who you are. They should know that you're going to get a MOAB. You're not playing extended team deathmatch. You're actually trying to help them. Right now I'm playing with J-Hub, and I play with J-Hub quite a bit. One of the things that he does when we play domination, he doesn't hardly ever capture domination points. That's just not his thing. What he'll do is we'll take 1 or 2 points, and he'll post up in a place where he can watch both of these points with specialist bonus and just slay and slaughter and kill people that go for these points. So he's doing an objective thing by killing people around these points, but he's also building up to his MOAB, because when you call in a MOAB that kills everybody, it EMPs them, it screws up their screen. That's just a huge game changer. However, the MOAB almost always comes in very late in the game, or at least midway, so you're probably not going to be as valuable to your team as somebody that was going for regular lethal kill streaks. So if you're playing specialists, you should also play objectively. You should try and help your teammates. If you're playing free-for-all or team deathmatch, it's not quite as big a deal, but if you're in an objective game type, you should also throw your body on the flags, capture the flags, defend the choke points. You shouldn't be playing just extended team deathmatch because you are on a team of other people, and you are expendable. With specialist strike package, you're dangerous all the time, you're building your perks up, and it's not that hard to get to the specialist streak. It's a little bit hard, but not like super hard. You're not so indispensable that you can't afford to die a little bit to capture some flags or plant some bombs or something like that. But if you're playing free-for-all or team deathmatch, obviously that doesn't matter. As I've said before, I'm not the only person to get a MOAB in this game. J-Hub also got a MOAB. That would be like his 210th MOAB, something crazy like that. His channel is youtube.com/xjhubx. There's a link in the description. It's the first link in the description, or if you're on a laptop or desktop or anything that has annotations, you can click the text right there and it'll go straight to his channel. It'll actually open it in a new window. I won't close this out. I know you guys like the new window opening thing. He makes good content, drops a lot of very high-scoring MW3 gameplays, a lot of challenge MOABs with goofy guns like Dragonovs and that sort of thing. I was actually intending to take this video and edit it like really cinematic to have our broab going on, but my computer died, so that didn't really work out. Anyway, go check out his channel. Good commentary, good gameplay, good stuff all around. I don't recommend crappy people, so you'll enjoy that. Also, I have to say that I don't know what to do next for In Depth, and I'm pretty confident that now In Depth has to be done for Modern Warfare 3 unless something gets patched or there's some major gameplay element that I haven't done. I know I tried to end In Depth about a month or so ago, but it didn't really work because there were a few things I haven't covered. Now I really feel like I've covered everything, and I don't know what to do next. If you guys have a recommendation for what I should do next for In Depth, go ahead and write that down there in the description. I'll see if I haven't already done it. There's an In Depth playlist on my channel. There's an In Depth playlist on Respawn. There's just so much In Depth. I feel like I've left no stone unturned. So what I'm kind of asking you guys is, what game should I do In Depth on next? Yes, I'm doing Battlefield 3 In Depth. The Heavy Barrel episode is coming out. It's going to be the next thing on my channel. I promise there's going to be Heavy Barrel In Depth on Battlefield 3. But I'm kind of thinking maybe I should do DayZ In Depth. I think that there's a lot of people that could use some strategy and some help and some gun explanations on that game. So that's one of the things I'm considering. Also, there will definitely be more Modern Warfare 3 commentary. I still play the game all the time, just maybe not so much in the In Depth department. Drifter out.